Hey, it's Jason from Bohemia Bees. Guess what's in the box? We're really excited. Stay tuned, you want to see. So you're saying, what's in the box, Jason? Well, frames are what's in the box. New frames are in the box. And we're going to try these new frames out in our colony. We got a strong colony back here that we're going to put them on. We're going to take these mediums that we got from 21st Bee. I'll put a link in the description below. And these are different frames because they're open comb. There's no foundation. They're actually segmented like a cut comb frame would be normally. The difference is this one solid frame. The guys over at 21st Bee injection mold these frames, so they're extremely durable, so you can bang them in and they're not breaking. Okay, so that's definitely something that are needed as an enhancement in the bee community, because I can tell you numerous times when I pry those frames out, wooden frames specifically, if they're not stapled, even if they're stapled and glued, if they propolize them in real tight, we can pop these top bars off and you end up having a mess that you have to deal with. So we really want to try to get some cut comb this year. It's still early in the spring. We got a really strong hive. We're going to take these frames from 21st Bee that have the cut comb sections. They have the ridge points here on the top bar and the bottom bar and the side bars. They're pre-waxed, heavily pre-waxed. You can see that on there with the wax from 21st Bee. So all American made products, all American made wax. We're going to put these on the colony behind us, and we're going to look in a couple weeks, and hopefully they've drawn out cut comb that we can cut out pieces and sell that cut comb honey this year. So let's get these in the hive and see what these bees can do. Now, what I don't want them to do is to draw a lot of cross comb. So I believe we've gotten 10 in this case, and where I traditionally put 9 in a super because I want really thick comb, I kind of want them to manage their own bee space and not have a lot of cross comb. So hopefully he sent me 10. That's what I ordered. So if he did, then we're going to be good, because it should fit nice. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. And with anything, as you know, you always want to keep your frames tight and centered, especially with cut comb, because you don't want to, again, a lot of cross comb. You have the bee space right here that needs to be respected, as we call it. I'm going to put a queen excluder on. Why? Because I don't want my queen to come up here and start to lay brood in this, make it messy, and then we'll put it over top of a strong colony. Let's get this colony opened up. Always check for your queen. And if I look at some of these frames in here that are in here, they're full on both sides, which means that they're really working this very well. This is the Propola box. It's actually the Endura Hive box from Nature's Image Farm that we're put on top of this hive so they can start to encourage them to build propolis. It just makes it a better hygienic hive. It's a great quality product that's made by Premier and enhanced by Nature's Image Farm. I'll put a link in the description below on that too. We're going to take our super, oh, I almost forgot, do not want bees up in there. Queen excluder. Over the years, I used to argue back and forth whether the bees liked the plastic versus the metal, and I've not really found a difference. But as you can see right now, they're coming up through there, just sliding up through, so they shouldn't have any problems. And we have an upper entrance as well too, so that's not a big deal. We'll put our super on, tighten center the frames, put our Queenix screen inner cover back on top, so we can peek down, take a look at it in a couple days, see if they're up in here moving around. And that's really the first step. Let's let them get to work, see what they can do. Stay tuned.
Eventually.
Okay, it's been some time since we put the 21st Century Bee frames in this colony. We know that they're probably about done, but we want to check on them before we remove them to see what they look like. let's get in the hive and see what we see. Well, looks like it worked. Let's look down in and see what we see. I don't know if you're able to see that or not, but it looks like all the comb is drawn out. Now there's a little bit of cross combing, which concerns me because you have this going on here. That's not good. That's going to be a mess to clean up. That's what I was worried about. A little cross combing here. But we might have a few pieces here that look good. But this is going to get a little messy, so. Okay, the goal is to get the bees that are working this out. A little smoke will do it probably. We also have a blower that we can blow them out. I'm just giving them a minute. Definitely heavy. All right, looks like we have a little bit of cross comb going beneath the queen excluder. That's normal. I'm not going to worry about that. I'll clean that up at the end. Let's get this super emptied and back in the shop so we can take a look at what we've got from a comb perspective. The way I'm going to do that is blow them out. Okay, so we've pushed some of the bees out. There's a little bit remaining in there. We're going to close this up. We got open honey. They'll pick on that honey for a little bit. And okay, so we pulled the super off and we've left the queen excluder with all that additional honey. We can take this out and set them outside to rob it out. But we're going to let them clean it up, pull that honey down into the colony by just putting back the inner cover on. And we'll come back at that in a couple days. Let's get this super inside the shop so we can start to pull the honey out. Okay, so we brought the super back into our honey house, and we're just trying to inspect it to see what we have before we start ripping this thing apart. The good news I see is that it looks like we've got, right in this area, some potential cut pieces that are really nice. There may be a few up here. My biggest concern is this right here. It looks like the bees made comb going like this. So that's not ideal, and I probably should have gotten in here a little earlier and corrected that. I think I did that when I first saw them doing it here. Here's a little bit over here still. I'm trying to get some good cut comb pieces from this. I'm sure I'll get some, but I don't know that I'll get the entire spread. There are 4 to each, 4 sections to each, and there, are 6-10 frames. So we could have had 40 cut comb pieces, but I don't know that we're going to get that. We're going to see what we can do, and we're going to see if we can salvage that up here. We might try to pull this whole thing out as a block and then cut into it from the side. Okay, so here's how we're going to handle this. We already cut around the edges a little bit to make sure it's not locked to the box, and then we flipped it over, and now, see, we're going to pull the box off and see, you can see there's the box, what we have as far as the honey. So here's the outside of it, and you can see the cross comb that cuts through here. We're going to see if we can salvage those pieces of, if we can. We're going to kind of surgically kind of pull this apart and then go from there. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we started to pull this apart, and as you can see, we got some of the messed up comb. There's some good pieces in there we could cut out still on those frames. And then there's some cross comb here that we can pull out. Some good pieces here we could cut out normally. We did save some good chunks. See, these are really big pieces. And I'm going to get my electric cutting heater tool to make perfectly beautiful cuts to fit in the cassettes. So let me get that. Okay, so we're going to use this comb honey cutter. It's a 2x4 heated cutter made by Pierce. Pierce has been in beekeeping forever, 1947. So this is an opportunity for us to we got our cut comb finally. Let's see if we can clean it up and use it in a sellable manner. It comes with a unit is heated. We plug it in, and you can see it's a 2x4. So if we're going to put this and cut out pieces, it's perfect to cut nice pieces out of that using this heated knife. Let's get this knife warmed up and then get to work. Okay, so we got our cassette boxes. These are small containers that you can put honeycomb in to sell. And we have them set up over here. And we're gonna go over here and use our Pierce cutting knife to start cutting some pieces. Now, this is a 2x4 knife, and it's a heated knife. So I can take a piece of cut comb like this and put it right on the edge. And it'll perfectly cut it to the size I need to go in those cassettes. Isn't that cool? And it'll trim off any extra. Make it like a beautiful cut comb. Okay, so we're going to take these and put them in the cassettes like this. Ready? All right, so now we got them in the cassette. Let's put a lid on them. There we go. Ready for sale. Cut comb. Well, there you have it, folks. We have cut comb, 2x4 pieces of cut comb made by the bees, all natural. Look for this on our website or at a local market where we'll be. We're really happy with how it turned out. It's a lot less messier than I thought. Okay, it's messy, but it's honey, so honey's always messy. Let's review some of the products that we used in this video. First, let's review the frames made by 21st Century Bee. So 100% not perfect, but definitely still a good product. We'll clean these. The bees will clean these up. We'll put them back in. They'll start all over again. Good, solid frames. These are injection molded, not 3D printed. They'll last us for years. Again, you got to be careful with the comb. Make sure they don't make wonky comb or cross comb. They did for us. But with the 2x4 cuts in all these are not wasted pieces. We get typically 2 pieces of cut comb out of a piece. Out of this piece right here, we'll get 2 2x4 pieces, which is wonderful. So again, it's not perfect, but for our first try at it, we do like that it did work, and we're going to reuse it this year. So we'll use it again, and we'll learn from it, and we'll go from there. But I definitely recommend the 21st Century Bee quality of products, and specifically these cut comb frames. Next, I would say this Pierce beekeeping equipment electric cutting knife is amazing. You can see it's very well crafted, well made. We have our temperature control over there set at the ideal cutting temperature once we had it going. And we use it to cut a couple pieces of comb over here so you can see how that worked. This is model number 1015 for anybody that's interested. We're going to have these on our store shortly. If we don't have them there already, you can pick them up through Pierce. Pierce Beekeeping has been around for a while, so they're amazing as well. So I definitely recommend them. And of course, we're working here on a Maxant Mutt. This is a product that's made by Maxant, and it's very versatile, you know, naturally for uncapping. But this is a great workstation for trying to make sure you kind of navigate cut comb too. We had, we had a little bit of a difficulty kind of getting the super where we wanted it. But at the end of the day, it made a great little station. We got a little rack here on the side that we put together for cooling. It's an air drying rack for bread and such, but we're using it for cut comb. It's going to drip that honey down there. It'll drip into the bottom once we tip it in there. And we'll be able to collect up all the drippage down here in the honey gate in the front. So again, it makes a great little station for that. Or if you're doing traditional harvesting honey, I'll put a link in the description below on how we use it for that. But this is another little versatile tool for us. So, well, there you have it, folks. Another video here on Bohemia apiary. I hope you enjoyed it. We reviewed a couple products. This was a long video because we had to start the video in the early spring, let the bees build the comb, fill the comb, cap the comb, and then remove the super, test it out. We don't do a lot of cut comb here because it is a process, a messy process, but so is harvesting honey. But the sweet rewards from it, getting cut comb and having that natural comb that you can just take a bite into is absolutely amazing. The block comb, if you've never had it before, it's freaking amazing. Thanks for watching, everyone. Here at Bohemia Apiary, where beekeeping for us, it's more than a hobby. It's an obsession. Thanks for watching.